Well, Pope Leo XIV has fronted media for the first time, meeting with more than 6,000 journalists at the Vatican, where he talked about his concern for the future of AI. Here was Sky News UK's translation.
I'm thinking in particular of artificial intelligence with its immense potential, which nevertheless requires responsibility and discernment in order to ensure that it can be used for the good of all, so that it can benefit all of humanity.
And let's cross live to Vatican City now, where News Corp Europe correspondent Sophie Elsworth joins me. Sophie, tell us what else he said at this press event.
Well, Sharri, this was just remarkable to be in this massive hall just beside St. Peter's Basilica, where the Pope addressed thousands of people. There were hundreds of cameramen, thousands of journalists, and it wasn't a normal press conference. He sat up the front. He was given a round of applause when he arrived. There were no questions, but he gave an 11-minute address. He asked the media to be really careful in their reporting. Think carefully on what words they use. Don't encourage a war of words. Choose their language carefully. This was sort of his underlying message to the media. He thanked them very much for their coverage of recent events, including the death of Pope Francis, the funeral, and the subsequent conclave, but a very strong message that he wants unity within the media. And Sharri, I've got to say, I was quite blown away to see a lot of the media here, who you think would be incredibly objective, are standing up and giving him a standing ovation. This was not a normal type of press conference. I asked some Vaticanistas who report on the Vatican full time, and they said, you won't see this again. This is incredibly rare. They do it when the Pope is announced, and not again. So it was very interesting to be there in the room, but not really a press conference because he didn't have to answer any questions.
Yeah, and in fact, no questions allowed. Now, we are hearing that there are some controversies, at least in the media. Maybe this is what the Pope was referring to. Don't report on them. But there have been some controversies already emerging about this new Pope. Talk us through them.
Well, they have, Sharri. A lot of this is in the English-speaking press that during his tenure when he was in Chicago, that he didn't handle sexual abuse allegations involving other priests correctly. And there's claims that this is something that is a black mark on his name, and there was a complaint written to the Vatican about this. Now, there's been other reporting as a result of this saying that this is not the case, and it's an activist group with an agenda here. So this has obviously dominated a lot of the English-speaking press, but difficult to find in some of the Italian newspapers when I'm, looking at them, translating what they're saying there. There is a massive arm of media here that are very pro-Vatican, very much pushing out the narratives that he wants. This is a massive event to have been here, Sharri, with such a huge media contingency, and a lot of them be back here for the inauguration on Sunday.
All right, Sophie Elsworth, thank you as always for your updates from Vatican City.